Welcome back, all you Melgar maniacs, to another episode of What is Newin on Melgar Media. Today, just going to talk about a few upcoming projects. A couple of them I've already discussed, but new trailers and teasers are coming out and have come out. And we'll start off with something that I am very invested in, but at the same time a little bit concerned, timid, I guess you would say, not concerned, but timid. Prime Video's version of Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Not even version, but they're telling. Because they did come to somewhat of an agreement with the J.R.R. Tolkien family about certain things that they can discuss in their saga and some things that they can't portray because they might not do it correctly. But we shall see. And it's very just like on paper, it seems like it should be a home run, knock out of the park. But from the teasers and trailers that have come out thus far, there's some things that I like about it, like the grand scale of it and the amount of obviously money that's been put into it, millions and millions of dollars, hundreds of millions. But I just really, with the way that Peter Jackson did it and the way that it was talked about and why it took so long to finally get adapted to the big screen and done correctly, in my eyes, even though The Hobbit wasn't amazing, I still enjoyed it, felt a bit rushed. But with this, they had tons of time. They also had a group of really well-educated on J.R.R. Tolkien's lore and reading of all the books and appendages and everything that goes along with it. So if it comes to the screen and it's not portrayed correctly, I fear for the future of Lord of the Rings, even though there is a animated movie coming out in a year or so about the Rohirrim. With this, there's another trailer coming out on the 14th. And from the teaser that I saw is actually a little bit better than the behind-the-scenes little special look they did about a month back or so. So I do have a little bit of new hope for it. Star Wars reference, if you know, you know. But at the same time, they're still just like, I feel like they're weaving around some of the things that they could tell fans didn't connect with right out the gate. So again, like I said, I'm a little bit timid, but I will give it a shot, obviously, because I'm a massive Lord of the Rings fan and everything Lord of the Rings. So I'm optimistic and timid. Can't say it enough, but I really hope that it does well and that we get, I think they're talking about doing maybe like 5 seasons of it, and I hope that we get all of it in its glory and that what we're seeing are just the tidbits of things that they're trying to cut away, trim the fat a little bit, and then the actual product will just be amazing and visually stunning. So yes, and this is the creators of this right now is Patrick McKay and John D. Payne, and it stars a bunch of actors newer actors, which I think is smart. A couple of newer actors and actresses that are playing some roles that we have seen portrayed thus far, but a lot of it will be brand new as it's taking place. I think right after, somewhere after the Silmarillion, but hundreds of years before the Lord of the Rings that we see, thousands of years actually. And so there's different ages, and you could break it down, and I'd lose a lot of people by talking about the first age and the third age that we see. But I like the fact that they are using a lot of newer actors up and coming, because sometimes it takes away from it when you just have a star-studded cast and then the story doesn't hit correctly. So yes, we will be moving right along to the next feature that I'll be talking about, which I did discuss because there are a couple of renditions of Pinocchio that are coming out. There is a stop-action claymation film that's coming out on Netflix, but this is the one, or not on Netflix, yes, on Netflix, but this is the one that's coming out on Disney Plus, and this one is done by Robert Zemeckis, and if you don't know his titles, I mean, his credits stretch eons. I mean, he has things, some of your favorite shows and movies, Back to the Future, obviously, but he has a really good grasp on kind of that magic and that crowd that he brings to young adults as well as, mature adults now that he got when you were younger. star-studded cast with Tom Hanks playing Geppetto, and he looks great as the role. I mean, he is really, I mean, he hasn't missed the mark in so long. I mean, I don't think I've seen a bad film by Tom Hanks ever. But Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who'll be playing Jiminy Cricket, the voice of Jiminy Cricket, a good CGI job from what I've seen in the trailer. But it just goes on and on to show Pinocchio will be himself will be played by a newcomer, a kid that I haven't seen out there yet, Benjamin Evan Ainsworth. Will be doing the voice of Pinocchio, which I'm excited about. And then Luke Evans, you've seen him in a ton of stuff. He also already played the villain in Beauty and the Beast, but he'll be playing the coachman. So, yes, I'm looking forward to this rendition. It looks very Disney-fied, but I think with all of the live-action projects that they've done thus far, this one definitely looks like it will stay pretty close to the source material and will just be visually cool and fun to see with a really fun cast. So looking forward to that. And the last one we'll talk about today will be Day Shift. This one I heard about for a little while, and I didn't really give it much mind because I just thought that the scenario seemed a little bit campy and maybe overdone, but it does have Jamie Foxx in it, who I am always a big fan of his performances. And it comes from some of the people that brought you John Wick, but directed by J.J. Perry. And this is going to be dealing with a hardworking, blue-collar dad who just wants to provide a good life for his quick-witted 8-year-old daughter. And his mundane San Fernando Valley pool cleaning job is a front for his real source of income, which is, wait on it, hunting and killing vampires. So that part right there kind of, threw me into the category of like, well, when it comes out and it's just one of those mindless movies that I'll put on in the background with, some cast that I like. Well, the trailer came out and I gotta say, man, it does look pretty entertaining, men and women, or, whoever's watching. It does look entertaining. I think that the cinematography looks pretty good and clean. Definitely has kind of like that Michael Bay hue to it. So it looks like it'll be intriguing for what it is. Snoop Dogg is also in the film, so you can't go wrong with some of the Snoop Doggy Dogg jokes and banter. But yeah, like I said, not much to get super pumped up about, but I think that this will be one of those little gems that'll come out as a good summer fun. Not necessarily blockbuster because, like I said, it'll be on Netflix, but it's coming out August 12th, so keep your eyes open for that. And we'll see how it ends up being when I do a review for it, if it's that good, on What You Watching later. So yeah, just a short one today. Just wanted to jump in, say hello, what's up. I've got a ton to talk about on What You Watching on Thursday, because we just got finales of a ton of different shows, but I won't jump into that now. Keep enjoying your summer. Take care of each other. Don't forget to smash a like below if you're enjoying the content. Tons more coming out. We'll be doing a lot more Star Wars content as well as these new shows and movies are being discussed and coming out. But I'll talk to you soon. Melga Media out. Peace.